I'm Chris Stevens and founder of the Home of Manufacturing. I had a lifelong career in manufacturing from the shop floor to management, so I understand many of the challenges that you face daily. Over those years, I've helped companies save over $100 million building smarter systems and a more modern way of leadership. But right now, manufacturing is shifting faster than ever. Technology, workforce, expectations, and global competition are being rewritten. All the while, many manufacturers are still playing by the old rules. I've built the Home of Manufacturing so anyone can not only keep up, but they can get ahead, so they can transform their operations, their culture, and tell their story to the world and help keep up with the new era of manufacturing. My long-term goal is to make manufacturing the most well-respected, innovative, and human-focused industry. A place that people not only can thrive, but they can level up and learn the skills to advance their careers and manufacturing forward together. A community where we support the community. Welcome to Manufacturing Nation. Welcome to the first episode of Manufacturing Nation. I'm fired up beyond belief to finally kick this off, something that's been in the works for a long time. Manufacturing has been my whole world, writing, consulting, building tools to help this industry thrive. But this podcast, this is different. Some of you might be like, you're nuts. Why a podcast now? There's a ton of them out there, and absolutely amazing podcasts. Because manufacturing is moving faster than I think most people realize, the conversations, the lessons, the wins, the failures that are happening every day on the shop floor, in the boardroom, and on the edge of innovation, we need a place to capture those, a place to talk about it, and really what's happening and what's coming next. But not always just talking about it, but the tools and resources that come along with that. Manufacturing Nation is about building a community, a space where stories, insights, lessons from those people that live and share and experience it every day. I'm talking to operators, engineers, leaders, suppliers, and innovators. The real voices of manufacturing. And here's my promise to you. We're going to keep moving forward, improving every episode, bringing bigger value, sharper conversations, and even bigger guests than myself. I promise you, I will make sure I bring everybody I possibly can. But we can't do this alone, and I need your help. How you can help us is make sure you subscribe, like, comment, follow along the journey. But not only that, but drive conversation. Reach out to people in the community. Reach out to those that are your coworkers, your friends, your family. Let them know about this. It only works when the community comes together. And plus, you get to say, I was there when it started. All right, let's dive into it for the first episode. What's happening in the world of manufacturing, especially right now? Here's what I'm seeing in headlines, and these aren't just my opinions. They're actual events happening that are happening out there in the world. They're not random, but there are signals where manufacturing is going next. I think the first major one we see here in North America, reshoring is real. We've witnessed and watched billions of dollars pour back into the United States, including both Canada and Mexico, with nearshoring. Now, I know there's a couple of great examples. GE Applications moving their production back home into the US, EY Lilly building a $5 billion facility in Virginia to secure their drug supply chain. This isn't theory anymore. This is a full switch. It is happening already. With that, tech is going to have to come with it. I'm talking AI, robotics, predictive maintenance, digital twins. Factories aren't just running smarter every quarter, they're evolving. And companies that are making this switch into automation, from quality checks, visual inspections, supply chain, accounts receivable, accounts payable, those are going to be the ones that are kind of leading the charge. If you forget any of those, you might get left behind. Also, what's under pressure is our supply chains. We've seen tariffs, material costs, geopolitical tensions. All of this is kind of squeezing the world of manufacturing, including supply chains. Nearshore is a buzzword, but I think what we're really seeing here is risk management. Everyone's trying to shorten their supply chains to gain back control and give them that extra level of security. Speaking of security, as no plans come online, I think cybersecurity is going to play a huge role going forward. I'm not just talking email, I'm talking production lines. The batch applications, the batch security, the recipes, all the factories are going smart, but they also have to keep a close eye on what's happening from a network security standpoint of view. In addition to that, I'm seeing a huge shift in the workforce. I know this isn't new, but there's a huge skilled labor shortage and a culture gap. I think some of this is driven by younger workers wanting more meeting and leadership and a different style than what has previously been done. Companies are going to have to rethink recruiting and training from the ground up. I'm talking full rebuild. And culture isn't just HR fluff anymore. It's an operational advantage. Some of those advantages come around what are boards and what are strategic plans. As policies continue to reshape, the boardrooms are kind of forced into this re-leading of the tea leaves, if you will, trying to understand what our regulator is going to do and how our local manufacturers and local policies driving this different application. So right now, every boardroom is looking at the tea leaves going, what are we looking at? How are we going to read them? This isn't just happening now, and I would say in the next 5 years, it's today. And one of those things that we're kind of seeing is how do these trends evolve over time? And I can tell you, they're not waiting for anyone. And to stay ahead, we can't just read headlines. We need to hear from the people that are on the ground floor that are working in it every single day. And that's where our community piece comes into play. This podcast is more than just me talking into a mic and interviewing others. I want MFG Nation to become a place where we gather stories, lessons from people living and working in this every day, the breakthroughs, the quiet wins that aren't talked about, and the struggles that no one is talking about. That's the power of community. The more stories we share, the more patterns we see, the more everyone can level up. It's a key thing in how I believe we're going to achieve greatness going forward. This isn't about sugarcoating things, it's about real talk. The kind of help that actually solve problems, the ones that build the future of manufacturing together. Here's the hard truth. There isn't enough top talent out there to hire a way to excellence. Every company is chasing that small pool of unicorns, and I hate to say it to you, that pool's dried up. Unless you're one of the Fortune 100 with unlimited budgets and brand pull, you just can't play at the same level of these big companies when it comes to recruiting. But I don't see that as a weakness. I actually see it as a huge opportunity. If you want extraordinary people, you got to build them internally, invest in them, create a pipeline that takes someone from an average skills to give them the skills and the tools, the training, the mentorship, a runway to be extraordinary. Companies that win in the next decade won't be the ones that are posting job ads. They'll be the ones developing their people. They'll create a culture where learning is expected, growth is normal, and leadership is grown from the shop floor. We are manufacturing. We're used to building and making things. I think there's going to be a shift from building physical products or software now into shifting of building people, building their skill sets, building their talents, building their leadership acumen. That's how we're going to make the future of workforce ready. It's not going to come from a school. It's not going to come from a tech college or a four-year university. We're going to have to build it internally. That's what I'm kind of seeing as current trends. I'll keep you guys always up to date on what is happening around the world of manufacturing. But for that, this is episode number 1 of MFG Nation. And we're just getting started. I mean, this is going to be a fun ride. Every episode, we're striving to make it better, sharper, higher value, bigger guests, bringing their best ideas, lessons learned, failures, opportunities, everything. But only can we do that if we have your help. So make sure you subscribe, like, comment, follow any one of the different areas that we're on. But most importantly, share this with your friends. Tell your community, tell your circles about it. This is going to be one of the rare chances that you get to say you found it first. You were in on the ground floor. And I promise you, when we look back in a few months from now, we're all going to say, man, remember when we started and it was a little bit rough, but look how far it's come as a community. Thanks for listening, and I'd love to officially welcome you to the Manufacturing Nation. Let's get to work. And always remember to own your chaos, level up, peace out.